Hello everybody, welcome to our channel. My name is Lay. I am a mother of two and we are a family of four on a financial journey of becoming completely debt-free, where we plan on paying off $29,000 in 1 year, and we plan on taking you guys step by step and payment by payment along the way. If you're new to this channel, thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, and I really hope you enjoy the content and decide to stay. And if you're returning, thank you guys so much for your continued support along our journey. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about all of the 2023 sinking funds needed to avoid going into debt. As I just mentioned, our family is planning on paying off $29,000 of debt in 12 months, which in itself is a pretty crazy ambitious goal. However, we know that life does not stop for us because we are on a debt-free journey. So we still need to prepare for the event that, life happens. And so these are the sinking funds that we are preparing for as a family of four to help us not go into debt as we tackle $29,000 of debt. So I'll be kind of going through a walkthrough of them. Now, again, we are a family of four, so this is definitely going to be catered more to a family style. However, you can always take and add in which sinking funds are going to work best for you and your family and your situation. So the first thing, what is a sinking fund? So a sinking fund is where you set aside money it could be every week, every pay period, every month for a expected or unexpected thing that you know is going to take place. That's the key of it, is that something that you know will take place. So for example, an expected sinking fund would be Christmas. We know Christmas happens December 25th every year. Nothing changes. So you would be setting aside X amount of money for your Christmas sinking fund, depending on what you want your budget to look like and how often you're able to contribute to it. A unexpected sinking fund would be something more like car maintenance, where you know you're going to need an oil change and tags and registration, all those things, but you may not know the exact date when you need to buy. So you'll save for it because you know you'll need it, but you may not know the exact date on when that maintenance will need to take place. So that is what a sinking fund is. It is putting small amounts aside for a larger expected or unexpected expense that you know will be taking place. So these are the 6 that our family is having. If you're interested in seeing what our 2023 sinking funds are, I did a whole video on what we are planning on saving for 2023. So here we'll go ahead and get started. So the first sinking fund is a medical, vision, dental. This is a really common one, you guys. If you've watched these videos in the new year, everybody always says, to have a medical or a vision or a dental, because those costs can be very pricey. And so when I think of these things, I think of copays, and I think of prescriptions. So with medical, for our particular family, we do not have this sinking fund because we have an HSA card. What an HSA card is called a health savings account, which my employee sponsors. So essentially what it does is it deducts from my paycheck and it puts it on almost like a debit card. And that is what our family personally uses for copays, prescriptions, and out-of-pocket medical expenses. It can also be used for vision and dental, but I do know not all employers offer that. I know some people have an FSA card, which is a flexible spending account. So it's kind of similar, but they're very different. So definitely do your research and see if your employee offers those and what that looks like for you. But that is our medical fund. So we have a medical, vision, and dental, and it's essentially this debit card that if I have a dentist appointment or I just got glasses, for example, I just got glasses last week, so I used our debit card for that, our HSA card. So that is the first thing. And the reason that this is so important, as many of you guys know or have experienced, I know firsthand from having a C-section, it can be very costly, medical bills, visions, and dental, and it can definitely throw a wrench into being on a debt-free journey. So just being proactive and making sure that we're putting a little bit aside, even if we don't have enough to cover an unexpected medical expense, having something is better than having nothing. And that's what I always like to tell people, especially when you're on a budgeting journey. Even if you don't have the full amount, something is better than nothing, right? So that would be the first sinking fund that I would highly recommend getting or having to avoid going into debt. Again, you can have a cash envelope sinking fund where you save physical cash, kind of like this one, Or if your employer does like an HSA or FSA card, that would be another great option like our family has. The next one that we have is car maintenance and car repairs. This is another really common one. Our family had quite a bit of car problems in the year of 2022. We had to get new tires and a new battery. So I can tell you firsthand, it has definitely been a very costly year for our car. So I'm not anticipating 2023 to be as costly, but as we know, because of past experience, how much those things can definitely cost in the long run. So for car maintenance and car repairs, really think about routine maintenance. So I'm thinking of like oil changes, you could think, I know some people like to add their insurance in this category. If you do like the semi-annual, you think of tags and registration. Anything that you know expectedly or unexpectedly will be happening with your vehicle that you need to plan for. So for us, for example, we get oil changes about every 2-3 months. So I know that I may not know the exact day we need the oil change, but we always get the little sticker on our car and it tells me, okay, Lay, when you hit X amount of miles, go ahead and take her in and get the car checked out. Insurance, we pull ours out from what we used to have our family savings before we threw it towards debt. So we will be saving for that, and then tags and registration. The next one is home maintenance and home repairs. This is another big one. Home repairs / home maintenance. Okay, so we are homeowners, and again in 2022, I feel like we just had all of every single problem you could ever imagine having. So for home repairs, I am thinking of landscaping, depending on what your property looks like. You can do any plumbing. We had this problem in 2022. These are, I'm speaking from experience. Windows, any window replacements, any roof replacements. I know a lot of people, roofing, I know a lot of people have basements that they're wanting to redo or restructure, so that could be another great one. Again, anything and within these categories that you think you could potentially go in debt for, take out a loan for, put it on a credit card, you can always add into these categories. But from experience, these are what we went into debt for. So this is what our sinking funds are going to be to help us avoid going into debt in the future. The next thing that we have is clothing and self-care. This one I like to add only because I do feel like if your budget is super restrictive, you can definitely find yourself impulse shopping and putting yourself back into a hole. So clothing and self-care looks very different for everybody, primarily the self-care portion. I practice a lot of free self-care. So what I do is I do a lot of meditating, I do a lot of Bible study, Bible journaling, a lot of journaling in itself, reading, just having that alone quiet time is my self-care. But I also do acknowledge that some people like to go get massages and some people like to go get their nails and hair done. So self-care can look very different for everybody else. But the important thing is that you practice self-care and whatever that looks like for you. So if you're one of those people that your self-care does require money, it's really important to have a sinking fund for it, because you don't want to be at that point where life gets to be a little too much and you do practice self-care, which everybody should, but you go into debt doing it. So that's why I put self-care on there. If you are one of those people that do self-care that does cost money, it's really important to have a sinking fund so that way you don't go into debt for it. The next one that I have is child expenses. And for child expenses, I am thinking more of the lines of sports, education, and childcare. So with child expenses, depending on where you live, the programs you have available to you, I know that because of where we live, if we were to go, like if we live 2 cities up, sports are completely free for children. So if you live in a more city area, I know a lot of sports are either free for children because they just want them in activities, or they're at a very low cost. So there's sports, if education, if you're a homeschooling parent or online parent, or your children does online school, education for books and all of that stuff if the school does not supply them, and then childcare if your child does receive that outside of the home or inside the home. Child expenses are definitely one that I have been told a lot of people go into debt for, primarily for the childcare and the education portion of it, for schooling and making sure that their child is being watched by someone that they feel comfortable with and feel safe with. So definitely making sure that we have something set aside for the event of, even if it's one of those things where maybe a childcare provider isn't able to watch your kids and you have to take off work. It could be setting aside money to cover your sick days or cover those days that you aren't getting paid. It could be anything primarily along these lines. For us, these are the 3 expenses that we found ourselves paying money for: sports, education, and childcare. And then the last one is going to be holidays and special occasions. This is a really, really big one that a lot of people do go in debt for. And it's that social pressure of, okay, for holidays and special occasions, I have to get this person the best thing on the shelves. I have to get this person the most amazing thing that came out this season. And so for holidays and special occasions, I'm thinking Christmas, birthdays, I'm thinking anniversaries or anniversary. I know Mother's Day is a big ticket item in this household. We end up shopping for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moms. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is a very expensive day. We have Father's Day. And 4th of July. And Easter. In this household, these are the main things that we spend a lot of money on. So Christmas, again, you know Christmas is going to happen the same day every year. However, people still go into debt for it. So making a plan and executing on that plan of how much am I going to spend, and really trying to focus and maintain that budget. Birthdays. I have 2 children, but I also have a lot of nieces and nephews that I shop for. So making sure that it's in the budget, it's planned for, and saying, you know, it's okay, Lay. You don't have to get them the most expensive thing on the shelf. Just get them something that they will enjoy and that they need and that they'll use. Anniversaries. Mother's Day, like I mentioned, I shop for like 6 moms, so that is definitely needs to be a sinking fund and in the budget. Father's Day, we shop for 4 dads. We have 4th of July. My husband's wanting to host this year, so we have to get all of that. And then Easter. So the reason I put that one at the bottom is because, again, medical, vision, and dental, that becomes before Christmas for me. It's always looking at things a need versus a want. So I know that if I need to pull my child from gymnastics or soccer, I can do that if I need to get plumbing done in my house. So even though these aren't in order, they kind of are by importance of each person. Some people, sports are a non-negotiable for their kids, so it may rank higher for you than somebody else. So these are the 2023 sinking funds needed to avoid going into debt in the new year. Again, we have medical, vision, and dental, car maintenance / car repairs, home repairs / home maintenance, self-care and clothing, again, depending on what your self-care is, child expenses, holidays, and special occasions. So that is going to be it for this video. Do you guys have a sinking fund that you guys have that helps you guys avoid going into debt? If you do, go ahead and put that in the comments because I'd love to hear about it. If you guys enjoy budgeting, cash stuffing, plan with me, savings, and debt updates, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified every time we post a video. And if you're on a financial journey as well, please let me know in the comments because I'd love to support you and your channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.